Dillon, 50 points for the offense today, 30-point win. Just how'd you feel about the way the offense played overall today?
I love how it all started, with the defense setting the tone and, the pick six, getting everyone going, and then, man, you just couldn't write it up better with, putting the points on the board, and then, of course, night game in the Palace, so.
Did things feel maybe particularly smooth just in the passing game? Seems like maybe you were finding a bunch of different receivers, guys were making plays. Maybe how did it feel?
I think it's something we go back to with is rhythm and creating completions and making competitive plays and moving the chains. I feel like as we get into that rhythm, we're able to obviously play a bunch of different guys and then kind of just spread the ball around. So
deep ball was humming tonight. That's not something the Iowa State defense has given up much over the past 5 years. What did you see? What was able to go into that?
I mean, schematically, they cause a lot of problems, and they're very great at what they do. And I think we just, in a game like this, you got to make competitive plays, and you got to, take your shots when you have those opportunities. So I'm glad we did. I'm glad we, took advantage of those shots and then, make plays down the red zone. So,
Dillon, with the deep balls, were there things you worked on from last season to this one in terms of mechanics, or is it really all just part of the confidence and all the things working for you guys?
Confidence in the scheme, year two with a bunch of the guys that, I've played with, and then it's a pitch and catch, it's a mixture, it's a dance between two people and not a one-man show. So I think being able to, build that continuity is huge for our pass game.
Dillon, you're making a run to the end zone, and I believe the word was trucked. Whenever you got in there, you kind of got low a little bit on the linebacker, got to the end zone. Just kind of talk about the feeling of maybe getting over on one of the guys that usually get you.
Yeah, my dad's a basketball coach, and growing up, we always loved calling for an and one, and I believe that one was an and one, and just finding a way to get in the end zone, it's a good deal. So
you seem to be playing with a lot of swagger, confidence. Do you feel like that's growing each week? I mean, even in your answers in the media sessions, you seem more confident.
Yeah, as we all know, when things are good and going good, it's easy to be good, and we've seen the road of both sides. At least I have in my journey, and I think you gotta take it. Take this journey as long as you can go and continue to have fun with it. And I think towards the end of the year last year, just I think it was a big thing in my head is continue to have fun with this game. Although it was a rocky road, and kind of going back to when you're that little kid and just enjoying every second of it. I think I had lost it for a little bit, but when I flipped that switch and just started having fun, it just allowed me to play free, have fun, play fast, and then play with a free mind. I think that's something that also kind of goes along with this whole journey. So that's something I'll continue to do. Kind of put that at the forefront of my off season going into this year. So having fun's a big part of doing it. So
did that flip switch of kind of playing free, and was it sort of something after last season, or was it something that a mentality changed going into this season?
I think it was a mixture. Talk about a roller coaster. It was, but you just learn a lot about yourself, your team, the people around you, and I think, naturally, I couldn't give you the exact date, but there's a time where it flipped, and I just started playing free and going into off season is something that, pushing one another because of the big off season we needed to have, but then also having fun with it, embracing the third and shorts, embracing that fourth and short and wanting to go get it, embracing situations that people may not, want to be in. And it's inevitable to be in those certain positions. So embracing it, having fun with it, and making it something that you want to pride yourself on. So,
what do you remember about last year's OU Texas game and not being able to be a part of it?
I don't remember a lot. No, I'm playing. But I think just being sidelined, being off the field, it's just not fun. I play the game because I love it. It's something I'm passionate about. And you work so hard with a group of guys, and not being able to be on the field with them, just didn't feel the best. But I think you learn a lot from those moments as well. as a player and then as a coach.
How long have you maybe thought about that game, and how much are you, I guess, looking forward to getting to actually playing it this year?
Exciting. I think it's a atmosphere and environment you live for and you dream of. When you're a little kid, you don't necessarily dream of playing in, the backyard, but you're picturing a huge crowd and that atmosphere, the passion, just all of it. It's something that you want to play in and you dream of playing in. So.
Dylan, where did you watch the game last year? Were you on the sideline?
I was. So the first half I was on the sideline, then the second half I went in the box. So.
You warmed up that game before. I mean, everybody kind of, hey, they're going to play.
Yeah.
Was there a part you said maybe I could play?
I guess we'll never know, right? But I think it was just part of the protocol and get my body ready. Couldn't tell you fully why, but just getting your body ready to go through the process of getting ready for a game again and stuff like that through that whole protocol. So.
If you got a taste, at least of the atmosphere, can you tell us whether you've quarterbacked in a setting like that before? I mean, as you look ahead to actually being on the field next Saturday.
I think only a few people have quarterbacked in environments like that, and it's special. It's a special atmosphere. It's two passionate fan bases. Wanting to, create an atmosphere for a great game. So I definitely was able to see it from a distance, but being able to be on that field is definitely different.
You're talking to a lot about your mindset and how things are kind of different for you now compared to last year. How important is that going to be for you to rely on in a setting like that next week?
I think it's just what the off season was all about, and Schmitty does a great job of that. Kind of pushing you to a limit that you never thought you had, and kind of exceeding that within a week or so. And I think that just is a testament to who we want to be and what we want to do. But I do definitely go back to the off season, and that training definitely built us.
How did you feel to get that first catch of the season tonight?
It felt amazing. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. Obviously, I had some stuff in the earlier season, worked through that, and it was just great to be out there with the guys.
Just kind of take us through that play.
Man, got loose. I knew the play was coming, took off, got the deep ball, seen the ball in the air, had to make an adjustment, and at the end of the day, Coach Jones always tells us to make competitive plays, and that's what I did.
Hey, your first action of the season, talk about how that feels to finally get on the field and make a play.
Oh, it's amazing. We work our whole lives for that. You dream of situations, pilots packed. You dream of that situation, you love it.
Talk about what kept you out of the play for 4 games before.
I had an ankle injury early in the season. That happened sadly. But I trust God. I trust His process, and trusted the trainers, trusted my coaches, and when the time was right, I knew I was going to make that play.
I know you're still looking at this win and celebrating with your teammates, but getting back before the Texas game next week, I know that's got to be something special for you. Just where's your mind at with that, and how excited are you for that game next week?
Obviously, my mind's already past Iowa State, on to Texas, great team. I got treated great when I was there, so nothing against those guys, but I'm excited to go compete.
What's going to be like for you being on the other side of that rivalry this week?
It might be a little different, but like I said, being in this position with these guys, man, I wouldn't change it for the world.
What does that look like for your family? Man, I'm sure they probably sat on one side now with different jerseys, different sides inside the stadium.
No doubt. For them, it's I've always been their I should say they've been always my support stream, family and friends. And so I'm very glad that I have a family that supports me no matter where I go. I could have gone to middle of nowhere. I could have gone to Michigan, and they still would have supported me. So it's not necessarily it's a rivalry game, and it's my old teammates, my old team. But at the end of the day, it's another game.
Have you had a chance to talk with your mom after the game yet? Brent said that he saw her walking to her to get ready.
Not yet. I haven't talked to her yet.
What's it been like just growing your connection with Dillon? And is that, I guess, kind of a sign of his trust in you and the rapport that you developed to just throw that up and let you go make a play?
It all comes out of practice and trusting that, we're going to be on the same page. And I think Dillon really has a a great trust with not only me but the whole receiver room, and just when the ball is not perfectly placed, because as a quarterback it's not always gonna be perfectly placed, but it's still the receiver's job to go catch that ball. And so I think with Dillon trusting his guys, Levy trusting the quarterback room, and then not only that, Coach Jones trusting us to make that play when it happens, I think it's all a little part of it.
I know you weren't here last year, but what's it been like to see Nick Anderson kind of blossom these last few weeks?
Oh, it's been awesome, not only for the receiver room, but just him in general. I've had a relationship with him out of high school, and so I've loved to see him play.
Your quarterback seemed to have a little extra juice tonight. He was kind of fired up, So what was that about? Like, what was the message in the huddle and in the locker room with him?
I think it was a little personal game, not only because it was Ohio State, but just being that the game's always been close, and that we knew they had a great defense, probably one of the best in the nation, and so I think for him, he just wanted to go prove that point. Like, I think he's been doing so good. I think he needs to be, in the Heisman, list at least. He's been a great leader, a great role model, and I couldn't be happier for Dillon.
You mentioned in the offseason that you felt like Oklahoma fit who you were as a person more blue collar. Now that you're a few weeks into it, just how much do you kind of feel more confirmation for that decision that this was the right move for you?
Oh, no, I totally agree. I totally stand on that. Like I said, it's been nothing but love here, and it's been a true family.
Back to Dillon for a second. He missed this game last year, and we've been asking him about sort of a revenge tour or redemption tour, right? TU, Cincinnati, and now comes a really big one potentially. How much do you think next week's going to mean to him specifically?
I think it's going to mean a lot to all of us. Him too, no doubt. Not to answer your question. Sure. I think it's I think every game is kind of personal for him, and I've kind of taken that as a part of his game. I've taken that and added it to my game. I think he's prepared the same and had the same mindset going into every game, and it's been unbelievable to watch.
Danny, obviously, the Iowa State had some big plays offensively in that first half, but you guys shut them out the second half. What was the difference you saw on the field between first and second half?
I think in the first half, we have playmakers, man. So when there's times where they go for the ball, they don't come up with it. I think it just happens, man. So we had full faith in the guys. We knew that we were kind of shooting ourselves in the foot like that. We just dialed ourselves in. We were ready to go.
What was maybe the message when they score a couple touchdowns? It's 21-20. Is there any messages, anything you guys are saying, or is there confidence you can?
We just kind of said let's just have that fun, go out there, dial it up, have that swag when we out there.
When you have those type of playmakers, like you say, does that always let you know that you can always get back into the game whether you're down or not playing at your best?
Absolutely. Guys like Billy Bowman, Key Lawrence, are such dudes. When they get a shot like that, I always have full faith in them.
Team has moved, obviously still undefeated. How would you say the team is playing right now as you're heading into still deeper into the conference schedule?
And 5-0, we've been looking good on both sides of the ball. I'm really proud. We just got to keep working.
Danny, how big a week do you think this is about to be for Dillon, who had missed this game a year ago?
Yeah, we lost him last year, but we got him this year. He's playing great football, and we're really excited what he does with offense.
And quarterbacks have to lead a team into a game that big, right? How good do you feel, how secure do you feel about what he brings to you guys?
Absolutely. He's a tremendous ball player. With him, we're 1,000 times better, and we're ready to go.
You talked about going 1-0 every week, so you didn't want to look too far ahead to Texas, but now that it is on the rise, and just can you talk about that excitement about going up against them?
Absolutely. Obviously last year happened, been through the fire, we've been scarred up, but we're ready to go, man. We're excited. We've been looking forward to this, since last year. I'm really excited what we can do.
What stands out just about the OU Texas rivalry since you've been a part of it?
What doesn't? It's kind of a rivalry that goes second to none. I think just such deep history involved with it. Both undefeated and just excited to see what we can do.